The second episode, Future Echoes, is the first to fully embrace high-concept science fiction. The episode centers around Red Dwarf hitting light speed, and consequently, the crew begin to see echoes of their future, events that will happen playing out in front of them. I've always been of the opinion that, on the whole, the earlier series' foray into this particular mode of science fiction has been less adventure, monster of the week focused than the show's run from season 3 onward. There are exceptions from that period, of course, and I do genuinely really enjoy those episodes. But Future Echoes, like much of seasons 1 and 2, use the science fiction as a springboard not only for comedic set pieces, but for explorations of character and theme. Future Echoes, in this regard, deals with Lister's grappling with his own mortality and contemplating his position within the universe, as well as foregrounding the relationship between Lister and Rimmer, which will become the focal point of so many of the show's truly great episodes. Not to suggest that Future Echoes isn't great, mind you. Future Echoes establishes the trend of Holly beginning each episode with a brief recap of the series' premise, alongside delivering a short joke so that his presence does not appear purely expository.
This is an SOS distress call from the mining ship Red Dwarf. The crew are dead, killed by a radiation leak. The only survivors were Dave Lister, who was in suspended animation during the disaster, and his pregnant cat, who was safely sealed in the hold. Revived 3 million years later, Lister's only companions are a life form who evolved from his cat, and Arnold Rimmer, a hologram simulation of one of the dead crew. I am Holly, the ship's computer, with an IQ of 6,000, the same IQ as 6,000 PE teachers.
They're largely inessential, but I do very much appreciate how the show contextualizes its recap. The majority of other shows are somewhat uncreative in this regard, reducing the recap down to a scattered series of important clips just to get the viewer up to speed. However, the recaps here are framed as distress calls, Holly transmitting cries for help throughout deep space, knowing full well that nobody will ever see them. Nobody, that is, other than us, the viewers. I think that Holly's one-liners that close out these segments become incredibly important with this idea in mind. The audience is left not pondering the abject hopelessness of the crew's situation, but with a laugh, that relief of lingering tension. But of course, it's the way that the comedy manages to synergize with the narrative and the characterization of the episode that makes Future Echoes a winner. Lister's reflections on his own mortality are exploited by Rimmer to make for some brilliant pieces of comedy, but also serve as very real, relatable fears to have. Lister, ultimately, is not a stand-in for the viewer. He has his own identity, his own fears and struggles. But this notion of mortality and the impending fact of death is something that pretty much everyone will have to deal with at some point in their lives. And I think that, in a way, Future Echoes works as a lot of the best comedy works, in that it allows us to confront and face these fears in a context that is familiar and comfortable.